if you are a business owner, you need to worry about. What happens when someone downloads a lead magnet? What do you want them to do? A lot of us feel like we've got the empathy sorted, but we don't. If you're doing this for other reasons and personal reasons and you're not doing this for business, this is the point that you think, how can this apply to me and my scenario right now? What happens is we don't know what lands and how to create useful content. Hey everyone, welcome. This is week 1 and I'm very excited to show you all the cool things that I have lined up to teach you with artificial intelligence and how you can do this so well and reduce your human cognitive load. The program is designed to teach you some of the basics of artificial intelligence, which you will already get being in business. I really would love you to go through the different code books that I'm going to show you, starting with this one in week 1. Let's get into today's session. Hey, it's Ronsley. Welcome, you AI geek, to Amplify AI. Consider this podcast your digital compass for you, the business leader wanting to use artificial intelligence ethically and in alignment with your brand's identity to achieve your business goals. Leading and running a business in the world of AI is like solving a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. But this podcast and I are here to make that easy. Every episode is a masterclass in unlocking techniques for using AI as a business leader, founder, owner. Thanks for being here. Let's learn. Today's code book is all around making sure that we understand credibility and audience empathy. So I wanted to start with this primarily because I feel like when it comes to artificial intelligence, a lot of us feel like we've got the empathy sorted, but we don't. And artificial intelligence is way better at that, primarily because some of our audience is a lot in a different place, and we really need to get to that place for where they're at to understand how we can cater to them. So meet them where they're at and then give them what they need. So the first thing is empathy is everything. Right now, what I'd love you to do is finish and write this sentence and pause the video. I am X who helps Y achieve Z. I am known as W in my V industry because of my uniqueness, which is U1, U2, and U3. So I've put W, V, and U's and X's and Y's so that you can substitute that with your specific personalization. I am Ronsley, who helps businesses and leaders integrate artificial intelligence to reduce human cognitive load, augment human intelligence, enhance efficiency, and achieve responsible growth. I am known as a computer scientist, entrepreneur, speaker, author, and podcaster for business growth because of my uniqueness in creating impactful AI solutions, fostering ethical technology use, and bridging ancient wisdom with modern technology. So once you have yours in a similar manner, and the next thing I would love you to do is run this prompt, which I'm going to explain to you what it does. So let's go ChatGPT because it's probably the easiest and what everyone is familiar with. I'm going to open a new chat. I'm going to come into your code book and just say copy from here and then come there and paste that. I'm going to break down this prompt so you understand what is happening. Let me first run the prompt and show you what's going on. So what I'm saying is, hey, I would love you to help me determine who my audience is. And I want you to use this starting point as your input to figure out who my audience is, okay? And I would love you to output that in an XY manner. And I would love you to also make sure that you give me 5 elements of the audience pain points, their biggest fears, their beliefs, values, aspirations, things they wish they could do after their pain points are fixed, and mistakes they want to avoid. If you're doing this for other reasons and personal reasons and you're not doing this for business, this is the point that you think, how can this apply to me and my scenario right now? What do you need from this and how does it apply to you? If you notice, what I'm asking it to do is I wanted to brainstorm my audience with me, and I wanted to output it in an XY list where X is the subject and Y is the description. And I've given it an example here. And then I'm saying, I need you to do this for these different sections. See how it's giving me this output? X, Y. So audience pain points, understanding AI, struggle to grasp the complexities. They have time management issues, of course, cost concerns, ethical considerations, overwhelm. The biggest fears are job displacement, technology misuse, implementation failure, loss of human touch. So it's broken my audience down. Now that I've done that, what I really wanted to do is give me some user personas. And I want you to see how I have structured this. Let me paste it and let me run it, but let me break down what I'm doing here. So I've first given it a starting point and said, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is why I'm unique. Please tell me who my audience is. Now, the audience pain points and everything will be determined from what you put in here. Now, please be very specific as to how you complete your template, which is I am X who helps Y achieve Z. Then it'll give you your audience analysis and it'll give you these 7 different things about your audience. Then I'm saying, now that you've got that, you're a market researcher, use your last output as input for this task to determine what my business is and what my market is. Your task is to generate a detailed user persona for the business and the specific market. All right. So what has it done? It has taken that and broken it down into what the demographic is. So this is a CEO of a mid-sized company, their user description, who they are, what their characteristics are, psychographics, and shopping behaviors. So I want you to see how you can really use AI so effectively to analyze and empathize with your audience. So we've done audience analysis. The other thing that is really useful that I want to show you how to do using artificial intelligence is merging search and intelligence. That can be used to research the state of the industry. Now, when it comes to content and creating really useful pieces of content, what happens is we don't know what lands and how to create useful content. And we actually can create useful content from context. What is the current state of the industry and what are people already familiar with, and piggybacking off that familiarity specifically to your business. In that regard, Perplexity AI is like one of the best tools out there that merge in search and intelligence. So I've put the breakdown here of how to get into Perplexity AI. I'm going to open a new tab here and go perplexity.ai, and inside your pro account here, you can come to settings down the bottom and you can change how you see this here. You can say what kind of model do you want it to run. And I've chosen Claude 3 Opus because of the size of its context window. And then I've also chosen DALL-E 3 as my image generation model. So you can do all that stuff inside here. It's pretty comprehensive. There are a few things that I want you to look at. You can go here into home and start asking it anything from here. You can then get it to focus either on academia, on writing, look through Reddit, look through YouTube, and or focus through computational Wolfram Alpha engines. If you are aware of that, then you can use that here. I just keep it on all, and then I can attach something if I want for more context before I run anything. Now, you can do some really, really cool things in here. Let me show you what I have done before, but also check out the Discover tab if you do get into Perplexity, because I think it's very useful. It's more of a news thing, which is very useful. But in your library, you can see that it'll catalog all your previous things that you've done with Perplexity. And then certain things you can really add to a collection, which I have a collection here. So Amplify AI tools. So here, what I've done is I've kind of gone, hey, can you look through the most important news for 2024, specifically for business owners and leaders? I'm already covering these sections. It might help you look for other things. Make me a list of 15 to 20 topical AI news based on your analysis above, and then list your top 3. Please think this through step by step and give me your reasoning. It's obviously done that step by step, and it's given me very cool numbers and stats and news items that I can definitely use. And not only that, it's then picked up that top 3 and provided reasoning. So 77% of businesses face AI security. He just highlights a security issue. Accenture launches a $1 billion Accenture fund, and then this personalized thing. So You see how you can get very specific using Perplexity, but also you can do lots of things like literature review, research, proposals, market analysis, news gathering, which I just showed you, vacation recommendations, look through your code book. But you can use these really cool prompts that I've given you here. So this is how you do research prompts. This is like do a research on writing a good email to book a call. Here's a research for product names. And then finally, this is also really important. Now, we have done some work here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to come here and I'm going to copy this prompt. So I have broken all that down for you into a prompt, which if you copy and paste here and everything else in this chat is relevant and correct from before, it will break my audience down into cohorts, which is really useful. And it is useful for me to have and for you to have cohorts which allow you to do useful research on each cohort, and as a result create specific content that targets these cohorts. Now this is very, very, very useful, so I'd love for you to play with it and see how it lands up for you and what cohorts it creates for you. Very powerful, very useful. And then finally, there are these three elements that if you are a business owner, you need to worry about. What happens when someone downloads a lead magnet? What do you want them to do? What do you want them to do when they raise their hand and say, hey, I would love to see if we can work together? So they are a prospect at that point. They are kind of raising their hand and saying, hey, I need some help and your business will be able to provide that help for me. And then finally, what happens when someone becomes a client? Like, what is the onboarding process for that person that just has become a client? If you notice here on the right-hand side, it has stopped because it's gotten to a point. So I'm going to continue generating this. So it finishes the cohorts, which I think is a very powerful prompt here. So this is literally taking something that is just out and performing some really cool tasks on it. This is week 1, and this is cookbook 1. It's all about audience, how about research and credibility, and mapping out your audience journey. I would love for you to think how this applies to you and how the things I've covered right now can apply to your specific instance. It might not be for business, it might be for personal reasons, it might be for other projects you have going on, but there's always a correlation between what I've just taught you and what you can apply to your current situation. Now, I'm going to show you how to install WriteFlow. When you come here, you'll get access to this code book, obviously, and you can click here and you'll get access to a link. When you click that, it'll bring you here. In here, you have all the instructions. You will not be able to see this when you first click this link. You will have to come and request access, and the team will have to give you access and your email access to this document. When you have access to this document, you will not be able to make any changes in here because this is the final document that everyone gets access to. This particular document, which gives them instructions on how, and yourself instructions on how to install WriteFlow and the different ways to use WriteFlow. They're all in here and it can't be deleted. I mean, I can because it's my document, but you won't be able to delete that. If you come down here and you go to do first, you'll see that this is the first thing you'll have to do, make a copy. Once you make a copy, and I'll show you what that looks like because here is my copy that I've made and I've renamed it and it's here, and this is how it'll look. And then it'll do this and it'll give you to make a copy. I'm going copy of WriteFlow. It'll make a copy and copy all the code in the background into this new document, and it'll rename it like that. And you'll be able to edit this document. So the first thing I want you to do once you have that is go Command A or Control A if you're on a Windows, or edit, select all, and come here, edit, select all, delete. I want you to have a blank WriteFlow copy. Once you have a blank WriteFlow copy, you will have to install it. For you to get the instructions to install it, that's in this original document. And once you make a copy, you can delete all the text so you have a blank document, and remember to keep this safe. That's the first thing you got to do. The next thing you got to do is, I'm going to show you, it's all here, but I'm going to show you how it's done. You will have to go into this. So if you don't have any, most of you won't have API keys set up. So you'll have to come and start from here and click this button. It'll open the OpenAI platform. If you're not logged in, it will get you logged in. Once you come into the billing section here, I want you to add credit balance to your billing. It's not much. So first, put your details in here and set up your credit card. Once you've done that, you go up to your profile, and then on the right-hand side, you're going to user API keys. When you click that, if you notice, I've got a bunch of them. You're going to come down here and you're going to go create new key. And I'm going to go test WriteFlow 1. You can name it whatever you want. Create new key. That's the thing you got to do. This is the version of WriteFlow that you have that you can't edit, which is all the instructions are here. So we've created your secret API key and we've come here. The next step is for you to go into your Google Doc, which we've just created, but it's not going to work because if you click on something, it's not been set up yet. So for you to set this up, you have to come here into extensions and click on app script. When you click on app script, you will be taken to this section here, which will actually be blank like this. And you can use different models here, but you will paste your API key that you just got from here previously. This key that we just got, we're going to take that and we're going to put it under API key. So what you will see is this blank. When you come in here and you go to extensions, app script, it'll be blank. Under API key, you're going to copy this like that, and then you're going to come here and paste that there. Once you've pasted that, you're going to save, and then you're going to come here and you're going to refresh and reload this page. When you do that, you'll notice that tab has been closed and you don't have that tab anymore. WriteFlow has been initialized, but for you to use it, there are a couple of things you want to do. So if you notice here before, I've started with I am Ronsley who helps this. Let me just use this as a starting point and use it as input. Now in WriteFlow, you can do lots of things from ideation to creating content, doing SEO, writing emails. It'll do social, it'll do strategy, it'll do podcasting, it'll do sales, and it'll even write you pretty cool ChatGPT and Midjourney prompts. But let's start with something as simple as, hey, okay, this is who I am. If I had to write a book, what would it look like? When you first run WriteFlow, this is what you're going to get. Authorization required. So you'll have to come in here and say, okay, and then you'll pick your Gmail account. When it gets here, you're going to click on advanced, come down the bottom and say, go to WriteFlow. This is safe. And you're going to click on that, scroll all the way down, say allow. And I promise you, this is all the tech that you require. Once you have this going, it's done. So the first time you run a thing, it'll ask you to authorize the document, and then you can keep running them as much as you want. So now I'm going to run outline. So what I'm saying is, hey, I'm Ronsley. This is who I help. This is what I help them do. And I would love for you to tell me, if I had to write a book, what would that book outline look like? And it will run a script and it will give me a book outline, table of contents, the introduction. What I want you to definitely try is come here and do the empathy map. It'll take that input and it'll empathize with your audience and create an empathy map on who that audience is and what they do. So here, who's the user? The breakdown is the goals, main objectives, how they think and feel inside their head, what they see, what they hear, what they say and do, what their pains and gains are. Very powerful. All right, this is Ronsley. This is Codebook 1. I'll see you in the next one. Much love. Hey, AI Geek. Thanks for listening. Your job doesn't stop here. I want you to lend your voice to the conversation. So you can join those conversations, discussions, new trainings, new recordings, and the rest of the AI Geeks by going to aigeeks.co. Also, share this podcast with a friend, another potential AI geek. Until then, much love.